job. I got a job. Got the job. Got the job.
If real shows ain't produced, it ain't bad.
Like on a job, I got a bob. Enhancement on my resume is live.
You know it's live.
I'm educated. Don't say we dated. I'm a CEO, don't call me no Miss Lady. I'm with the high. I just got a new promotion, give me 5. I just left my interview and it was 5. They say I'm hired. I got the job. I got a job. I'm putting in work. Y'all getting faded. I'm on time for my check, you boys late. If I say I want a promo, they gon' pay. My family straight. I'm getting paid. I'm highly favored. Resume layer. I just went and grabbed my suit, you know it's tailored. I need some cream in my coffee, let it flavor. Leave some snacks up on my desk, vanilla wafers. I got a meeting coming up, I see you later. It's nothing personal, I'm all about my paper. Oh, you don't got the right skills, can get this flavor. If you really about your biz, put it on paper. We pay our taxes, my bees hack. If it do not got our stamp, then they hacked you. We certified, while them other companies acting. Go ahead, send it $30, get it crackin'. Black on the job, I got a bob. Enhancement on my resume is live. I'm educated. Don't say we dated. I'm a CEO, don't call me no Miss Lady. I'm with the high. I just got a new promotion, give me 5. I just left my interview and it was 5. They say I'm hired. I got the job. I got a job. Come be a boss. I got the sauce. They let you go, then that company took a loss. Yeah, 25 bands, 55 bands, 75 bands, 100K advance. Come get these increments. Baby, you be working. This increase worth a Birkin. Make them pay because you worth it. You're impressive, that's for certain. Secretary was a clerk. Saw my raise and went berserk. My new resume, it worked. Black on the job, I got a bob. Enhancement on my resume is live. I'm educated. Don't say we dated. I'm a CEO, don't call me no Miss Lady. I'm with the high. I just got a new promotion, give me 5. I just left my interview and it was 5. They say I'm hired. I got the job. I got a job.
I got the job. I got the job. I got a job. I got the job. Got the job.
If real shows ain't produced, it ain't bad.
Black on the job, I got a bob. Enhancement on my resume is live. I'm educated. Don't say we dated. I'm a CEO, don't call me no Miss Lady. I'm with the high. I just got a new promotion, give me 5. I just left my interview and it was 5. They say I'm hired. I got the job. I got a job. I'm putting in work. Y'all getting faded. I'm on time for my check, you boys late. If I say I want a promo, they gon' pay. My family straight. I'm getting paid. I'm highly favored. Resume layer. I just went and grabbed my suit, you know it's tailored. I need some cream in my coffee, let it flavor. Leave some snacks up on my desk, vanilla wafers. I got a meeting coming up, I see you later. It's nothing personal, I'm all about my paper. Oh, you don't got the right skills, can get this flavor. If you really about your biz, put it on paper. We pay our taxes, my bees hack. If it do not got our stamp, then they hacked you. We certified, while them other companies acting. Go ahead, send it $30, get it crackin'. Black on the job, I got a bob. Enhancement on my resume is live. I'm educated. Don't say we dated. I'm a CEO, don't call me no Miss Lady. I'm with the high. I just got a new promotion, give me 5. I just left my interview and it was 5. They say I'm hired. I got the job. I got a job. Come be a boss. I got the sauce. They let you go, then that company took a loss. Yeah, 25 bands, 55 bands, 75 bands, 100K advance. Come get these increments. Baby, you be working. This increase worth a Birkin. Make them pay because you worth it. You're impressive, that's for certain. Secretary was a clerk. Saw my raise and went berserk. My new resume, it worked. Black on the job, I got a bob. Enhancement on my resume is live. I'm educated. Don't say we dated. I'm a CEO, don't call me no Miss Lady. I'm with the high. I just got a new promotion, give me 5. I just left my interview and it was 5. They say I'm hired.
Y'all ready? Hi, my UBs. Y'all got your little drops of honey already. Hi, Anna, Regina, Yvonne. And it's your first time. Okay. Whose first time is this on a live? Because y'all in for a treat. Y'all in for a treat. Whose first live is this? We got Sunny in the house. Okay. Now, I do want to talk to you guys. You guys know we always start off with what we're learning this week. Let me get my water. Yes, C. Johnson, you're here. Hi, Sophia, Jada. Y'all, it's been very hectic in the hive. And I want to talk to you guys and start off with we as a community. Oh, I'm supposed to be doing my introduction first. See, I like having my team. All right, guys, welcome to our Wednesday night live. I am Admin Sin with Black on the Job. We are a career development company geared towards getting Black folks to six figures, and we do so through low cost and no cost career services. So every single Wednesday, we go ahead and we do our free live. For our bees, especially those who may not have the funds, we want to make sure that we help everybody. We're at $300 million in salary increases, and we do so by serving our community. Serving our community, okay? Come on. It's only one white man allowed in the hive, and that's Joy Boy. Hi, Joy. And Joy Boy is here, like all white men, to look at Black women and to make sure that we're doing our job. Right? So that's why he's here, okay? Hi, Harzy, Cheryl, Rita. Okay, hi, bees. I want to start off the live by talking to you guys about don't be afraid to do things in a way that may look differently to other people. And I am so happy that as a community, we have leaned towards making sure that those of us who decide to be community leaders actually have to do their job. Okay. So I had a conversation with somebody recently and I had to check their ass. Okay. So if this is your first time at a live, realize every week Admin Sin got to check somebody. And every week I talk to y'all about it. Okay. This is part of my free therapy. Just get with it. Okay. So I was talking to a guru, community guru type person. They're way more successful than me financially and the Black business owner space or whatever, right? And they call their motherfucking ass trying to give me some tips. And they wanted to know when was the last time that I did a competitor's analysis? Competitors analysis. And in marketing, one of the traditional things that you do is you look at your competition and compare what they're doing to what you're doing, and you decide, where you need to tighten up, right? Very good practice for people who have marketing. If you're in business, this may be something that, they tell you to do. And I tried to explain this to them, but I realized that there's a difference in understanding what you do and who you are and how those things are related. And when it comes to Black women, we're not always allowed the space to truly expand and explore that. And when you see a Black woman who has done that, sometimes it could be a little bit abrasive for folks. And this was my scenario. Black on the Job doesn't do competitor analysis. I don't look at the market and decide what my competition is doing and then, adapt my company based off of what people are doing. I can't do that because I don't work in a competitive environment. I don't compete with Black women, and I don't compete when it comes to helping Black people. I don't do that. So a competitor's analysis, and when I'm looking at other career spaces, and when I'm looking at nonprofits, right, and I'm looking at how businesses serve and sell the Black community, it's not going to be in a way that will be conducive to the community that we've created here at Black on the Job. Most of the things that we give you guys that are within our free resources are people's like lead magnets and things like that. And so that language and what it's supposed to do doesn't align with what I was called to do. And so what I tried to tell them was, I don't have a product based business. I have a purpose based business. And so when you're looking in purpose, it's a completely different story. Black on the Job is very grounded and it grows at a very slow but stable pace because I don't have a target audience. I don't target my audience. So I don't have a target audience. I do have, when I'm looking at the analytics and the people analytics, and we're looking at the campaigns and how well they do, we are looking at data points. Our data points just may be a little bit different than what people are looking for. I'm not looking at the bees and looking at, what services they purchase from a way of like, how can I maximize every dollar out of this client? Where our metrics are lied at is our metrics are more so about you guys' salary increase. And so we're very heavy on that. I'm very heavy on trying to understand, what degree did you come into Black on the Job with? How long have you been here? What services you purchased? And how did that lead to your career growth? That is the market funnel that we're in here at Black on the Job. And so I can't compete where I don't compare. I don't compare those type of data points in order to grow the business. The business is grown based off of the works that we do. You guys kind of know that I'm very big about, religion. I'm not as spiritual as I am religious. And when it comes to religion, the Bible says to, do thy work and show yourself approved. And so how we grow Black on the Job is more so based on the growth of what you guys do. It's not going to be on the growth of how much we make, more so how much you guys have made as a collective. And so when you're looking to start your own business, we had some people in the Hive that was looking at that. I'm like, hey, I want to start my own business, things like that. You have to understand that it's really great to take classes and certifications and to look at, how other people are doing business in order for you to know where to go. However, you have to start making the decisions. And it's okay if it's not, if you're going to be selling or serving, right? Are you in a sales-based business or a service-based business? That requires two different things. And then as you continue to grow and you want to have a community or you want to have a membership, you want to make sure that, is this a product-led business or is this a purpose-led business? Because then it determines how you look at your numbers and look at how you are going to shape and track what success looks like for you. It's not always going to be what everyone says it's supposed to be in the way that it is. That's not going to align for people who are doing purpose-based work versus their level of success is based on, how much money they make or how much, property they buy. That's a different success metric. And I am not against either of them. I just know that that's not how we do things at Black on the Job. So it's a different story. When I look at my demographics and when I look at where you guys live at and things like that, I'm not looking at it from the perspective of how much, what product to sell you. It's not that. I'm looking at your demographics to understand how to do pricing, what will be affordable for them, how long would it take them, where we can go with it. And that requires us to just have a truly dynamic approach to things. And it's a little bit different than what you will see, right? So at Black on the Job, one of the things that you guys know is we have a lot of different services. And I get in trouble a lot of times from you guys about like, why is there so many services and things like that? And that's because there's so many different types of Black. We could just sell resume packages that keeps the review and the rewrite or revision all in one price. And that's solid, right? However, that's not affordable for everyone who is unemployed or underemployed, right? Some of y'all made some choices, and so having the money set aside for that is just not something you have. But what you may have is $30. And for $30, you should still get the red carpet experience. And that's why we have three different levels of resume packages plus, resume review. I can't come up with a average price on resumes because so the girl who just lost her job, who, got just enough money to buy her resume, she should pay as much as you sitting there in your director position? No. We have to understand that the business and service is a very nuanced field when you want to work in community. It means that the highest bill I have is payroll because I have consultants and they have to make their money. And I'm not going to spend as much money on technology and things like that as I do when it comes to education, knowledge, sending their asses to all these conferences and things like that. I have to pour them like lots of knowledge and insight and career growth and strategy because we are having one-on-one services. We have been very hesitant to even have like a career workshop, that we just sell a bunch of tickets to because careers are very unique. And so you want to keep that in mind when you're thinking about how you are going about your career and how things are happening for you, that it may not look like everyone else's. And that's not always a bad thing. It's just not. It's not. You have to understand what you are called to do. And if you're working within your calling, maybe you're not working within your calling, and that's okay too. But if you are working within a calling, you want to make sure that you stay there. A lot of times your frustration, what you're upset about, your job hopping could very well be contributed to where you're thinking that your calling and your purpose is supposed to look like everybody else's, and it's not. Okay? You want to be very clear about that. You want to and be grounded in that. Okay? So I just want to make sure that we get that. I really want to talk to you guys about that because it's very, very different. I'm not the typical CEO. Every time I have a new employee that starts with us, Admin Sunny is our newest employee, and that is something she tells me very often. Admin Sun, you can't usually get in contact with a CEO. There are CEOs that have businesses as big as you. They're not as connected to their customer base. And I'm like, yeah, because they have a customer base. I have a community. Those are two different things. That requires a different level of trust and transparency. And so the level of accountability that you guys put on me is extremely heavy, but I'm very happy that I was called to carry it. So it's like, it's not no heavier than what I told you guys to do. And I appreciate that you guys continue to make sure that I stick to my guns and how we do things. I want to be questioned. I want to be challenged. I want to know about, hey, admin sent. So FEMA. So what you gonna do about that? Trump said he canceling FEMA. You got a workshop or some shit going on? What's going on? Hi, Admin Joe. I messaged you earlier. You didn't text me back. Okay. I'm always gonna, I'm gonna always die on my heel. My heel is the hive, and I'm gonna die on that. I'm just gonna die on that. Okay. So, without further ado, I want to tell you guys that so you guys can understand something I'm gonna give you guys next when it comes to your resumes. Last week, we went over the profile, we went over the skills section, we went over education, certifications, volunteer experience, and you guys learned all of that. And now we got to talk about the meat and potatoes, which is the middle of your resume. And before we get started, let me go ahead and clear the air. If you are going to respond back to what I'm saying with that's not what you read online, things like that, I want to let you know something. You're going to get average advice online so that you can make an average salary. The average salary of a Black woman in the United States is 38,000 a year. So if what I tell you is different than your $38,000 advice, it's because your advice was worth 38,000. Okay? All right, girl. Don't get your feathers too ruffled. Okay, don't get your feathers too ruffled. Nobody is going to give you six-figure advice for free except the Hive. Okay? So get that out the way now. Don't get your panties in a bunch. Okay. Now, how many of you guys have heard that you're supposed to put numbers on your resume? You're supposed to quantify your achievements. They want to know how much money you saved, how much you made, the percentages, numbers, and money. How many of you guys can say that is exactly what I've always told? And I don't even know how to do numbers. Right, right. So many of you guys get tripped up right there. Yeah, everyone is telling you to put KPIs on your resume, right? So we're going to talk about, yep, you have, okay, Jada, right? We're going to talk about why you put numbers and when you put numbers, right? We always have numbers on the resume. So let me start off here. And the numbers on your resume is to show your KPIs, your key performance indicators, right? These are metrics that track your performance and show that you're meeting goals, right? Yep. Okay, so let me share my screen. And I've been clicking around some shit, y'all. I done found some new shit. I absolutely have. Look at the. Okay. Okay, boom. Okay, so let me show my full screen. But yes, y'all, I've been clicking. Okay. When we talk about KPIs or numbers on your resume, it's that yellow corner. Can y'all see that? The yellow column, right? These are going to be performance indicators. This lets you know how well you're doing and if you're meeting goals. Meeting goals. Okay. Now, let's see if y'all get this trick question. Right? So y'all see what it say right here. If KPIs track if you are meeting goals, what position do you think that it is showing that you have when your resume is filled with numbers? Cons. Y'all, the B team, y'all gonna get it real soon. Y'all about to get it real soon. Don't even trip. I was making some stuff today, y'all. Okay. If your resume tracks if you're meeting goals, then your resume is also saying that someone has to give you goals. Uh-oh. Emerson, does that mean I'm not showing leadership? Uh-oh, I think somebody said it. Katina said, this sounds like a coordinator. Uh-oh, entry level, right? Entry to mid, unless you're already in management. But the more KPIs you have on your resume, I can absolutely tell that you are not in leadership. You're not in leadership if you are placing your resume with mostly the yellow. No. Because if someone has to prove that they're performing well and prove that you're meeting goals, that means someone is having to set your goals for you. Right? So unless you're in a sales role, like a sales manager, if you're looking to be in leadership, director, consultant, you're not going to have a lot of numbers on your resume. Okay. You will have a lot of red because you're showing the essential areas that you function in that's helping to achieve the mission. And if you're in high level management, I'll put you in the blue. And I'm going to show the framework for setting those goals and measuring your progress with key results. Okay. 3 different things. If you have a lot of KPIs, it's going to say how many calls you take in. And let's look at how they're guiding you. Brittany said, what happens if you're in a role that requires you to meet certain requirements per quarter, right? Is that going to be an OKR? That means that you have key results that you need to place on your resume, not KPIs, OKR. And I got some examples I'm going to show you guys. When we're showing objectives to key results, we will tie your performance indication to the key result you were looking for. And that shows where you're at in mid management. So they will define what direction you're going in, how you stretched your team, and it drives alignment across multiple functions. So will you have numbers on your resume? Yes, but not as many. Okay. And let's look at the common mistakes. I know y'all, I told you I had some tea for y'all today. Y'all know admin sin. Y'all know admin sin. Right? When we are looking at common mistakes made, for OKRs, you have way too many directions. So you're confusing tasks with key results. Brittany, that's what you and I were just discussing. Versus focusing only on outputs, not outcomes. That's where you guys are at in the yellow. Many of you guys are just focused on the output and not the outcome. And this is what happens. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. When you guys allow ChatGPT to do your resume. Okay? Because ChatGPT will not tie your key output to the key outcome by the business's overall objective. That requires you to speak to a consultant who would help you map that process out together. Okay? Let me know. Put a B in the chat if y'all understand what I'm saying. Or put I don't get it. All right? Put I don't get it or put a B in the chat. So how they work together is that the CSF, which is the foundation, which makes sense because that's going to be a leadership role. They're going to have success factors. Your success factor is the foundation. Then, based off your success factors, you then come up with objectives and key goal targets. And by that, we then have the metrics, right? So the last at the end was a KPI. Right? So OKR, CFS is what most critical for success, right? That's what's most critical. Those are the people who play the most critical position, right? OKRs are the goals we set to achieve the success. That's management. This is director, red, management, blue, yellow, you are in a productive based environment. And that's how we measure our progress. So these are the mules, the ones in yellow. And many of you guys' resumes will be in yellow that are using ChatGPT. When you guys are in the yellow and we're moving you guys into mid-management, so those are our coordinators and our assistants that we move to mid-management, we then take your resume that is progress driven and put it achievement and success driven, right? And for those of you guys who are here who's in middle management and you just don't know how to get out, we take your goals and we tie it to the success to show how you can measure them. And that's how we directly tie it to the overall mission and show how you have your success metrics, right? So that's how those three things play together. So let me show you guys what this looks like on a resume, right? So the doers, KPIs. This shows you did the task. I took 200 calls. That's what you did. OKRs. This shows how you helped reach that goal. That's mid-level. CSF. This shows you knew what was most critical and drove it. That's leadership. Okay. Let's look at how this tied up on a B's resume. So we had a recruiter come in, and recruiters work in HR, but they pretend that they don't. But that's because they don't be understanding. Right. And so the recruiter said, well, I reviewed 200 resumes daily to meet hiring targets. Then they were wondering why their resume was getting low entry recruiting roles. However, to them, I did everything right. I got a number there. I'm showing them how much work I do per day. Why do I keep getting low salaries? Because this only shows output. Employers only see you as a worker bee who executes, not someone who drives strategy. So you put on your resume, review 200 resumes daily. You're just showing that you're a worker bee. Right? Y'all see how that's worker bee? Make it bigger. Y'all can see the screen good? Let me see. Let me make it bigger. This as big as they want to let me go. Okay. Mid-management would be I filled, filled up, not I, no first person. Filled 40 open positions in 90 days, contributing to 20% faster team growth. That's the same bullet point. But now I've connected my task to the company's growth. And it still shows someone you're following hiring needs given by leadership. Okay. But this is the same bullet. We wrote it 3 different ways. Okay. But now instead of me just saying I reviewed these resumes, I'm now discussing where those resumes were and how they align to hit the company's growth. Okay. Let me see what it looked like on my phone. Oh, that's what y'all saying. Wait, how do I do that? Oh, my bad. Ha 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 ha. I saw what it looked like on my phone. Okay, my bad. There it goes. So let me go over that again. The first bullet point shows output only. I just see that you are a worker bee. You reviewed 200 resumes. That's it. This is a low-paying recruiting role. Okay? Low paying. That same bullet for middle management, I'm now showing I didn't just review the resume. What I did was fill these open positions that contributed to the company's growth. Y'all welcome. Right? So this takes that same bullet, rewritten, takes this bullet from a $40,000 low paying to now we're at $60,000. We haven't even got to leadership yet. Okay? This is the last one. Now, this is a leadership role. Built and led the recruitment strategy, ensuring 95% fill rate and critical reducing turnover by 30% and aligned talent pipeline with business growth. Now that bullet there, right? That bullet shifts from doing the hiring to driving organizational success, showing what's most critical, what needed retention and alignment, and guided the strategy. That's completely different, right? Y'all see how that definitely changed it up. There we go. Now, this same bullet is talking about building and leading the recruitment strategy. How? By making sure that 95% of the roles that we needed filled were filled. And I filled them so good that we reduced our turnover by 30%. And I did that so good that it aligned talent pipeline with business expansion goals. This is all the same recruiter. These three bullet points are saying all the same thing. But instead of me focus on just the output, I'm now tying it to the overall business goals. What were the goals? We got to get these critical roles filled. By doing that, it's going to reduce our turnover rate. And by doing that, we can now expand. We're opening up an office in California, right? And so we're going to need those roles filled. And by filling those roles, I am able to help the business expand because we can't just open up some office and ain't nobody there. Does that make sense? How that one bullet changed the salary. That is a $150,000 strategy. That is not this. This let me know you don't know why the hell you calling them people for them damn jobs. You don't know. They told me to call these people, so that's what I did. That's what that bullet reads. Right? This shows that actually I'm helping the company grow. Right? This one say, I might as well own this thing. You know, I'm building this shit from the bottom up. As a CEO, this position I can replace quickly. This position might take me 2 weeks. This person, let me just mail you a blank check. I don't even know. You know, if I don't even know what the fuck you do. I don't know. All I know is that I say I want another B office and I don't know the Congos and your ass and figured it out. That's the difference in these three. Does that make sense? How those three kind of align together? Who can see the difference between those three? Now, what happens is that when you are looking at output, this shows how much work you did and if you hit the goals. This one shows you can tie your work to the broader goals and grow. This one shows you focus on what matters most for the organization and can set up strategy and drive priorities. That's three different situations, right? Here goes another one that I did for customer service. When you guys do your resume on ChatGPT, this is what it tell y'all to put there. Process 200 customer orders daily with 99% accuracy. That's what ChatGPT tell you. Then you're an entry level role. Y'all kind of admin sin. Because you're entry level, I put you here. Launch 2 new products in Q3, increase website traffic by 60%. This is where y'all get when y'all just get resume services by yourself. Y'all don't get this till y'all be on the phone with Admin Joe. And they be coming out that thing talking about they about to run their own company. Because now what we've done is we've had time to sit with you during that career coaching and we are researching the company, researching where their success and strategy and their priorities are, and we're tying what you do back to those overall goals and showing how you are fitting into the ecosystem of the company. Okay? And I hear you guys because some of you guys are saying, well, I guess I've never done any of this. You have. This is the same thing. When you process 200 customer orders, you process the 200 orders from the 2 products they launched in quarter 3. And that came from making sure that you were working with cross-functional teams. And those 200 orders actually brought in $10 million in annual revenue contracts. You just don't know that these 200 orders were worth this $10 million. Okay. And this goes for roles that are both quantitative and qualitative. So then we have service based roles. And you still have to tie it over to the overall larger goals. Let's say, for instance, you're a social worker, right? You're tying your goals, your success to the overall goals of that city because that's who you work for. You work for the city or you work for the state. Who signs your check? You work for the state of Arizona, you work for the state of California. And guess what that state got? Things that they working on and shit that they trying to get done. And you're directly tied to their overall organizational success metrics because that's how they're getting paid from the feds. So what you are looking at yourself as is that you're here. This you just know how many cases, how many kids you saw, how many people you helped. But in reality, you have to show that what you're doing is connected to how the state of California is bringing in their money. But you don't see this. You only see this. Okay. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like on a resume example that I use for the my social work B. I want to show you guys what that looks like. Why it won't let me search my own computer? Hold on. Resume example for B. There it goes. Let me pull this up for you guys to see. Hold on. It's bouncing. What the bouncing mean? On the MacBook. When it be bouncing and stuff? Hold on, let me see what the bounce mean. You bouncing, but you're not. Okay, there you go. I'm like, y'all bouncing, but you're not opening. Okay. All right, so let me show this. How do I show y'all this? Let me see. Let me make sure I slide correctly. Okay. Okay, so let's look at this example here. Okay. This is my social worker resume. Okay. And let me take one of these so that y'all can see how we're tying this over to the larger goal. Okay. Y'all should be able to see this pretty good. All right. Can y'all see it? Okay. 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 So when we're looking at this sentence for a social worker, this is what they did here in yellow. This is all y'all be knowing is that I was making sure that I championed and targeted health priorities. That's all y'all know, right? Here shows the how. I championed target health priorities. How did you do it? By integrating a data-driven community engagement strategy to improve outreach for diverse populations. And what was that result? It ensured sustainable health behavior changes. This is tying your social work to the broader business goals. Y'all see that? Instead of, let's look at another one. Okay. Led the creative execution of 915 advanced healthcare plans monthly for complex cases while driving significant improvements in healthcare outcomes for children in foster care. Y'all see that? Y'all see that yellow, blue, and green? How many social workers here can say that that's how they writing about them foster care kids? Y'all not writing about us like this on your resume. Y'all don't be doing this with the kids. That's not how y'all be doing it. Y'all be talking about, making sure that they doing good at school. That's not that's doing your duty, right? Doing this is what usually y'all sentence end at, is right here in the yellow. This is showing how this is tied to the overall community and business goals. Okay? Let's look at this one. Who is this? Is this making sense to y'all? Yellow, spearheaded healthcare reporting development for at-risk youth in Baltimore, setting the organizational standard and serving as a benchmark for excellence in stakeholder communication and contractual engagements. Right? So if your bullet is, I manage a caseload of 40 clients, that is just output. That's it. I don't know how well you do it or why you do it. Okay. So that's how you take even the qualitative of experience and you're pulling it back in. This was a social worker, right? And so when I'm even training the team, the biggest thing is we want to know what department you're in, why and how you did it. Results lets me know what industry and where you're at within the departments, but that's how you're tying it. Now let's look at the professional summary, because this B ended up making a lot more money after her resume review. So sometimes, we put program director because that's the role. Remember, we talked about this with the professional summary. Your professional summary is going to put the role you're going for, right? And so what y'all be doing right here is just throwing a whole bunch of shit together of different skills and shit that you done found on, I don't know, one of y'all Facebook groups or some shit. I don't know where y'all be getting this stuff from. It'd be wild as hell. But anyways, and no, you wouldn't usually put them in numbered sentences. It'll be one paragraph. But this is when I tell y'all that your professional summary is 3 to 4 sentences. I want to number them so y'all can do it, okay? So here we go. Community engagement and transformative impact on health and social programs. The ability to do what? Enhance engagement to improve healthcare outcomes and foster inclusive environments. So here I am linking her social work to other industries. You see that? I'm linking her social work to strategies that are more fluid across more different types of companies so that she can get a role outside of the government. Because Uncle Sam, he one of them baby daddies, he promised you a whole bunch of shit. He was sweet talking you. You let him put that baby in you. You let him put that degree on you. And all of a sudden, all you left with is student debt. And you can't, and that nigga just buying you a box of diapers. That's as much as your check can afford. So a lot of y'all baby daddy is, Uncle Sam. And so you want to get out of this. You want to be on the hypergamy, right? You ready to be a strong, independent Black woman, make your own money and shit. And you can't, because your resume is screaming, my baby daddy name is Uncle Sam. And you don't know how not to get out of that. This is how. This is saying, my baby daddy name is Uncle Sam, but he don't determine my self-worth. Right? My baby daddy is Uncle Sam, but I got dignity. Right? My baby daddy is Uncle Sam in clinical therapy. You feel me? But I, I I got other qualities about myself. It was just, I just made a bad decision. I was young, but since then I have grown. I bridged the gap, and I don't judge. I'm worth more than that. So that's how you do that, right? So this is how I'm blending and showing how her skills that pay bills is useful in other fields. Okay. Now, Quay said I need to grow up for real. It's okay. We all gonna be growing up together, y'all. We all gonna be growing up together. Okay. So let's go back to our little situation. Hold on. Let me make sure I stop sharing. Okay. How we feeling before we go to the next portion? Because I'm about to give y'all some game from a career coaching I did yesterday that I didn't realize y'all was making this mistake on. How we feeling about our resume? Are we feeling a lot better? We feeling a lot better? Or y'all feeling worse? Because y'all didn't think y'all needed the B team. Y'all didn't think y'all needed a B. Y'all was like, girl, I got that ChatGPT builder and it's been building out. They didn't build you that resume 7 times. How many prompts are you going to be in before you realize that the recruiters are properly telling you no? How many times are you going to keep putting in that prompt, girl? Stop it. Just stop it. Okay? Just stop it. How many prompts you gonna put in? Yeah, how many times you gonna say, create for me a resume that's gonna get me 6 figures in any field by tomorrow night? How many times? Y'all getting a little bit abusive. I done heard. Okay. So let's go over this one more time before we go to our next section. And that's why we tell you guys to speak with the B team, because you guys are just showing how much work you did. Okay, that's all y'all doing. Y'all, and when y'all just get resume services, we can do these two. But quite honestly, it's not really until y'all get career coaching that we can help your focus, because y'all be all over the place. Okay. Okay, y'all. Y'all see the difference? Now, let me give y'all some more little free game, because we talked about it in the high, but I want to show you guys where y'all be having the game messed up at. Okay. And let me tell y'all something else. Don't be believing the HR people, y'all. Don't let them folks get to you. Okay. Don't let them folks get to you, because people in HR, half the time they don't even know they're in HR. So let's start there. Okay. I want to be very clear. Half of the folks in HR, half of y'all in HR right here, right now, don't even know it. Okay. Wait, hold on. How do I just show? Why are you always trying to put some fucking music and make it go on its own? Just do as I say. Okay. Just open. Let me just preview it. I don't need you to do additional things. Try to make this shit all fast. Okay, let's preview right here. Okay, nobody asking you to do extra stuff. No. Hold on. Because my little Canva not doing as I asked it to do. Is it on music or something? Public view. Let me just get my link, because I'm not understanding why I always want to have a slideshow. This ain't the fucking rodeo. I always want to put a goddamn slideshow together. I didn't ask you to do all that. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right. So, yes, the HR girlies, they always make it seem like they in the trenches. So first off, the HR girlies remind me of the mamas. You know how for years married women, wives and mothers will always make it seem like they're in the trenches. No matter what question you ask them, they'd be like, marriage take work. Marriage take work, right? And the mothers be like, kids ain't for the weak. Kids ain't for the weak. When you talk to folks in HR, they sound the same way. Oh God, it's more to it than you think. They don't even know. They don't even know. Okay. And I wanted to show you guys this because this goes for damn near every single field. Now, the way you read this, up at the top, you see advisory, you see strategy, you see service providers, and you see solution providers, okay? Now, when we speak to a bee, and let's say, for instance, she is an HR coordinator, and this was from one of our bees that we did, okay? HR coordinator is the same thing you see right here on this. You see how it's right here under by service providers and help desk? You see this little corner right here? And that this corner is for the starter. These are starter roles down here, right? So these two roles, if you got a title that's a recruiter, benefits coordinator, if you've done customer service, if you have done recruiting, if you have done patient access coordinating, if you have worked in any of those fields, you've done entry-level HR right here. Okay? That's all of these. That's here. Many times recruiters can't get out of recruiting into higher roles because they stay here under solution provision only. They have not done what it takes to move into a more strategic role that will place them over here at all. They have not even done the work to move into more experience here, right? So when I'm looking at this, still in the red under solution provision, but they haven't done the work even on their resume. They don't know how to hop from here to here. Okay? Even in recruiting, they don't know how to hop from here to talent management or even talent acquisition specialist. Many times I speak to somebody and I'll be like, oh, okay, you're in recruitment? No, I'm a talent acquisition specialist. Girl, same the fuck thing. Girl, you right here. You right here. These are going to be some more entry-level positions, okay? When we are looking at doing career transitions, right? We will take a route that will show your expertise and build you further. So this bee, we took her from an HR coordinator and she moved her to a generalist position. What we ended up doing was aligning her resume more towards this mid-level to show how she was tied to broader goals. That was step one. This is all without a degree. That's how we moved her from 48 to 68,000. Okay. This was back in 2019. So what we did was, instead of saying things on her resume like review 200 resumes daily, right? We started tying it to the goals of the company. Okay. She was not ready for leadership yet. She was young, and that wasn't it. From there, she had another career coaching about the next year, and we told her to go from her generalist role to business partnering so that she can start getting more advisory skills. When you're an HR business partner, you are able to partner with the different departments to understand what their needs are and start learning more of the strategy necessary to run an organization. She stayed in that position, which was also not a bad increase, right? Almost 30,000 for about a year. No degrees. Once she was in this position, I think for 2 years, she now had maximize these coordinating and logistical skills through partnerships and general duties. And so we're going back over here instead of her climbing like this, going from an HR coordinator, from a coordinator to an HR manager, instead of doing that, putting her here in advisory allowed her to speedboat over here into organizational development, which was change management. How, Admin Sin? Because she already had entry level coordinating duties. And then on top of that, she has been liaisoning with different departments. She now understands the general functions of HR throughout the company. And so now she can move into organizational development. Okay. Which was still a pretty good leap. I do remember that conversation, and she was complaining because the salary, she wanted to be deeper in the six figures. But we told her to just hold on. From there, she's now been on a very gentle, normal career track. And first, she's doing organizational development. Now she's in the management position, and she's been with this same company moving up slowly in a normal pace. But this is how career coaching kind of helps shape her career. As us understanding that she needs to understand solution providing, advisory, and consulting before we move her into strategy. This is very unique to that beat. That is how we're shaping it. And we kept shaping that resume like this, building on her skills and building on what she does well, and not having her resume in a doer state, but connecting it over to more and more goals throughout the company until we got her into that leadership position. And now she's just been smooth sailing from there, right? So we took her first role and we turned all that yellow into blue. And then we leveraged that blue, the objectives and key results, to start showing how she does objectives and key results across departments that led her to being in red in leadership. Okay. So over the past, she's been with us since 2019. She was the second career coaching I've ever did. So she's been with us since 2019. What is 2025? So in 6 years, right? She went from $48,000 a year to $175,000 a year. Okay. That's what this does. This simple move of understanding frameworks and setting key goals, we start showing her growth and changes across departments and around the outcomes of their departments, defining the directions and being very ambitious with the goals of each of those departments, and showing how her role was aligning them across functions. That requires a lot of strategy. You got to have somebody who knows what they're talking about. Right? Now, I want to show you guys this because just yesterday night, I was speaking with a bee, and she was very frustrated because she was trying to move into what's that? She was trying to move into healthcare, but she has never worked in healthcare. She's worked in compliance. Okay, so I'm going to show you how excellent career coaching is. And I'll ask her if I could share a portion. She actually made a post today. She really, 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 really wanted to work in healthcare. Now, there are a few fields that do not fuck around with them degrees. Okay, I can move you in a lot of places, but some fields, they don't play no whole games when it comes to degrees. Okay, one of the reasons why it's hard for me to get into a university is because I'm a college dropout. They don't give a fuck about me, girl. Let me tell you, I'll be on the phone with them universities, black, white, and purple, and they be like, So tell me, Where did you get your HR training from? What, are you at the master's level or do you have a doctorate? That's why we keep Dr. Miller around. I be throwing around her degree like it ain't nobody's business. Shit, I think sometimes my sister share because girl, just say I don't give a fuck, girl. Tell them you own the company, okay? Throw that doctorate on the table. Get some money back for this shit, okay? If you want to go into healthcare or higher ed, these two they don't see you unless you have a degree. They not checking for you, okay? And she did not have any healthcare degrees. She has worked compliance her whole life. And so she was trying her hardest to move into compliance within the healthcare sector. And she was doing what anybody logically would do. So if you didn't have a degree in healthcare, but you had compliance experience, where would you go at in the hospital? Where would you assume you could apply to? Where would you assume? I would tell you what, without any career training, I would probably say that you guys need somebody HR wise, maybe compliance with like patient care needs, things like that. No. Joy, come here. Mommy almost done. You don't gotta cry. Okay, you don't have to try. You don't have to try. Okay. Can mommy finish? Okay. You want a hug? Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Is that okay? Okay. So you would think HR, right? Where would we go? We would go HR, right? I have 2 masters working on a third. You would probably think HR. She could do compliance over there. That makes perfect sense, right, Jada? She could be in there. No, I don't know what the fuck the hospitals will not hire you in compliance, healthcare, hospitals, clinics. You can't work in there with the people because you would need to know the personnel, right? So nurse compliance is going to be different than the doctor's compliance. They got insurance, right? It's completely different. So to even work there, you need a degree, usually within healthcare administration, right? Healthcare compliance, hospital administration, that's all for people with healthcare degrees. That's not going to be for someone without a healthcare degree. So she was upset, rightfully so. She was like, oh, MSN, like, can't do receptionist. Nope, she wanted 6 figures. You know how y'all bees get down. Y'all ain't being no receptionist around here. Girl, y'all wish I would. Y'all would never let me move y'all there. So she just could not understand where she would be able to move. Now, she ended up winning a free career coaching because she clicks on the blogs, like I told y'all asses to do, but y'all stopped doing it, which is why I didn't gave away like 4 makeover packages and I just give it away to the bees that keep commenting on the blogs because we ain't got no new bees. Okay. I'm sorry. Last time we had to give away, I had to give it to their cousin and them. It's 100,000 of you niggas up in here, but y'all do what y'all want to do. But anyways, so we had a career coaching call last night. And so I told her, well, there's an area that we can move into that is going to be within healthcare, but you're going to have to go on the other side of healthcare. And by going on the other side of healthcare, not only would you make more money than the people in healthcare, you will also be able to guide your way in and have a more important position, right? Not marketing. Let me show you guys. I told her that we were moving into a health tech company. Now, when you're in health tech, healthcare technology, you can then work for a tech company who just so happens have a healthcare product. I'll give you an example. Epic. If you the CRM system that they enter that shit in, they don't care. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn, right? What we end up doing was moving her closer there. So let's look at this. I end up moving her into vendor finance. This is the exact thing I put in there yesterday for her, right? And so now we're looking for telehealth companies. Okay. Now we're in telehealth. Because Aurora Health and Aesthetics is on the telehealth side, right? They are a they are a technology company. They're a tech company that just so happens to have to be in healthcare. Okay. So here we can be a director of compliance and risk, right? And all of our duties are around the product in and of itself, and not so much as of compliance within healthcare. No, this is not within healthcare. This is within the product that speaks in healthcare. And so now she's seeing stuff that she would usually see. Now, when we look at degrees, right, or related field, they don't care if you have a degree in healthcare, business, legal, or related field, right? That's how we were able to move her, right? You see the big difference there? We looked at another role. Here goes Strategic Maven Clinic. Same thing. We're on this side of it, virtual clinic. Boom. Now, because I put vendor and finance, there we go, right? Now we're over here. This is another tech company. It's a virtual company. Maven's award-winning digital program, right? Yes. I love you. Mwah. Right? So they are more so on tech, innovative companies, 425 million tech investors. We're on the tech side. They're not saying that they are the healthiest company and that they company got more patient that lives than dies. They don't give a fuck about that. They are about technology. Okay? They want somebody, look at this, not one healthcare degree in sight. They want to know, have you worked for a startup before? Can you use a Google Sheet? And can you problem solve? Have you ever worked for a B2B company? Because if so, girl, I got how much they got for you? I think it's about 130,000 this role was. I think this role was 120 to 140,000. Many times you guys are looking for roles that require qualifications you guys don't even have. But when I'm looking through this role, I know a bunch of bees I could put up over here. 3 to 5 years in investment banking or consulting or business operations or as a financial manager in a fast-paced environment. Can you use some Google Sheets? Can you problem solve? Do you talk right? And are you familiar with Salesforce? That's about 50% of y'all up in this call right now. Trella said getting in vendor and product versus healthcare systems, hospitals, clinics, you can do a lot. Analyzing, monitoring, auditing, reviewing. Okay? This is what happens when you book a career coaching. We understand the nuances of how these roles come to be, and we can find you roles that match your skill level and your education level. Here goes another one. They want to put Workday at their company. So they need somebody to do the project planning for Workday and talk to them different teams about Workday and help them configure Workday and translate what they do into Workday and integrate their Workday money and manage the migration of the Workday. And what do they want? Do you know Workday? Okay. Have you done the Workday money stuff before? Can you put the Workday inside of the thing? Have you done a project management? They don't even want a degree. Last thing they list. But if you got the work experience, we'll take that too. Right? For 90,000, I know Workday. Okay? For 90 bands? Girl, shit. Okay. Workday. I work all day. Okay. Work day work, day labor. Whatever you need from a nigga, I got you. Okay. Here goes another one. Here goes another one. Here goes another one. All of these roles are within healthcare, but they're on the tech side. Why don't you just work for a tech company that just so happened to make a healthcare product? That's a lot of work day. I swear to God. That's the difference. That is when you have a career coaching and you don't just go get a resume. This is why we say look at the services. This is why. Y'all be thinking that we just trying to sell you some shit. But I know how to find roles. Admin Joe know how to find roles. Admin Comra, Admin Tracy, Admin Tori, Admin Dana. We all know how to find roles. We know exactly within each industry where degrees are going to make you more dollars, where they won't. We know exactly where to place you based off your skills, and our writers are excellent at aligning your resume to the strategy that you and the coach came up with. But y'all don't want to listen to us. Y'all don't want to listen to us, okay? Yes, baby. Yeah, sure, sure. What's wrong? Okay? This is the difference. Okay. Okay. So let me answer my questions because Joy Boy, he about to get mad because he want to go on his walkie walk. I know. I promise you. Wait. Almost wait. Okay. Now, for those of y'all who did not know, we have our, put it over here maybe. Is it over here? Can we do it like that? We have our DIY workshop coming up soon. Make sure you guys get on the wait list, right? Don't be talking about y'all need all of this. Y'all won't even go on the blog like I told y'all to. And I told y'all I need for you guys to go on the blog. Now, I'm in the middle of updating the aesthetics, okay? I'm in the middle of doing such things. But I need for you guys to go on the blog. Our DIY resume workshop is for where is it at? Joy Boy not playing them whole games with me, y'all. But I'm gonna have to wrap this up because Joy Boy is not playing with me. Okay, our DIY resume workshop is coming up, and this is y'all know this campaign is going to be a different because we're actually going to be giving out. We've added on every year. This year we have some really good add-ons. But this one is about your DIY resume workshop, and we're adding on a career workshop. That's why I gotta get with Admin Joe very soon because we didn't sell her for some stuff she don't even know about yet. So yes, this is about also this year we want to turn Baby B to Golden Bees. So I noticed that when y'all mamas and grandmas and aunties, when y'all sign up for the $50 resume workshop, you guys are not bringing your baby bees, your 18-year-old, your 19, 20, and 21-year-old. All of my young bees and my golden bees should be here inside of this workshop for $50, okay? So you need to scan that little coupon code that's on the screen and make sure that you're in there. Now, if y'all don't go up on this website and comment on the blogs, me and you gonna have a problem, right? Read me. This week's blog was about how you guys can show up in your scan, especially for interview prep, and you don't have to be perfect. A lot of y'all need interview prep. We haven't even did a live on how terrible y'all interviewing. I know y'all interviewing terrible. I could tell. Okay? These are very good blogs. Okay, baby boy. I promise. So y'all need to make sure y'all going on here, reading the blogs. We got blogs on dyslexia. We do a lot of mental health on the blogs over the week, on the weeks, because we want to make sure that we talk to you guys about mental health situations and how they play out in the workplace. Half you niggas depressed right now. I don't know why y'all not reading the blogs. That's exactly what y'all should be doing. Okay? And make sure y'all going on the Instagram too. Okay? Let me see. Jada in the same boat. Hogs. Jada, what about you? I have a master's in healthcare management and still don't know where to go other than entry-level management. Yes, Jada. There are other places you could absolutely go. I would never place y'all at entry level. I know, baby. I know. Okay. Okay, okay. We have a live. I love the blog so much. It was truly inspiring. Thank you, Ayana. We have a blog every single week on Mondays, and we have our newsletters. And you guys need to make sure you guys sign up for your services. Now that I've talked to y'all why the services are the way they are, that's the reason why one of our packages has that career coaching and skill alignment together. Y'all can always use Afterpay, Klarna, all that fun stuff. So don't even do that to yourself. With the career packages, you get that career strategy and resume alignment. This is exactly what we talked about tonight. This helps you plan for your positions for your leadership roles. It aligns your resume. We have strategic roadmaps. On top of that, you get roles that you can apply to directly right after, and you get interview prep. This is why all of our packages keep those three services, because you got to know how to use your resume and where to apply based off where you're trying to go and your skills. Okay. Those blogs are so heartfelt. Now, I want to let y'all know something. The person writing the blogs is an award winning author. Okay. A mystery writer who is an award winning mystery writing author. Okay. Those blogs are written with the skill, depth that you have never seen before. Mama B don't play with them blogs. Okay. Blogging is her passion, writing is her passion. So if you want to read a good article and you're tired of AI and automations and you want something natural and raw and real, you should be reading those blogs. They are phenomenal. She has trivia questions in there now, and she's giving away interview preps and makeover packages. You really should be reading them blogs. Okay. Your imposter syndrome won't be as bad as your bill non-payment syndrome. That's a completely different cancerous disease that we don't want to be your outcome. So, imposter syndrome and I can't pay my bill syndrome. I can't pay my bill syndrome is one of the deadliest diseases that has struck in our community. It leads to children that we don't even know who we had them with. It leads us to STDs. We forget our ABCs. I believe it leads to delirium and delusion. Okay. I think syphilis is tied to I can't pay my bill syndrome. So, imposter syndrome is so low on the list. I can't pay my bill syndrome is taking niggas out every day, B. People are getting kidnapped. Okay. They got women letting people shit on them in Dubai on their face and shit. You know, I just don't want you guys to get that deadly cancer. I can't pay my bill. Is I it's some people in my family. I'm traumatized. It's triggering to even discuss it. It's triggering. It's a childhood trauma that I suffered. With some of the adults in my family, rest in peace. You feel me? Rest in peace. It's a lot going on. Okay. We got other diseases in our community that we are trying to combat. We got other diseases. I'm yelling at my kids because I can't yell at my boss syndrome going around. You feel me? We got I'm shaking my ass on a Tuesday when I'd rather be at home watching, How to Get Away with Murder. There are so many impacts of some of the things that we are suffering from in this community that we are doing our very best to combat as a community. So I definitely want to make sure that we address the introverts. I believe we got a blog for that. But the biggest blog is I can't pay my bill syndrome. It's taking the world by storm. Okay. So we just got to get in where we fit in. You feel me? I know you've resulted to manipulation. I know. Okay. All right, y'all. Any other diseases that we need to discuss tonight? Any other ones? Okay. Y'all know where y'all get in, where y'all fit in now? Y'all getting in where y'all fit in? Okay. Make sure you're on the DIY resume workshop sign up list. Make sure you put your kids and them on there. Make sure you're looking at your blogs. Okay. Okay. You ready? You ready? Okay. Okay. He's not even letting me put him down. All right, guys. Only thing to learn Epic, you have to learn in healthcare. That was it. They keep it on the low. I was looking into healthcare IT, but can't quit my job to go to a facility with Epic right now. Epic is a good one, but Salesforce is excellent. If you know Salesforce, I can move you around in healthcare. All right, guys. Wish you lots of love, joy, and honey. You ready? All right. Lucky walk. All right. Bye, guys.